When it comes to what is considered a dead mall, there are quite a few malls that come to mind. The Century 3 Mall in West Mifflin, Pennsylvania, the Rolling Acres Mall in Akron, Ohio, or even the Jamestown Mall in St. Louis, Missouri, just to name a few. Many of these so-called dead malls are out there on the East Coast. I feel that a big reason for that is because the East Coast was, or is, more, well, how do I put this? There's a higher abundance of malls out there and an oversaturation of shopping complexes and malls back east. When looking up dead malls, sure, many of them are located back east, but we out here on the west end of the country, we've got our fair share of great thriving malls, just like the East Coast, and just like the East Coast as well, you just don't hear about, there's also a fair share of dead malls out here. You just don't hear about them very often on the West Coast. This episode will focus on one of those dead malls from the West. It is, or was known, as the Cottonwood Mall in Holiday, Utah, not to be confused with the Cottonwood Mall in Albuquerque, New Mexico. This is a completely different mall that was found in Utah. When you Google Cottonwood Mall, the majority of what you find is the mall found in Albuquerque, New Mexico, not the one found in Holiday, Utah. Google basically wants you to be more specific about that. Throughout this video, I will be using images and possibly video clips I found on Flickr, which you're seeing right now. And obviously I'm giving credit to where the credit is due. And then I will provide a link to where I find the photographs or videos in the description box below. I'm probably not going to do that because it's just right here on Flickr. I'm giving it right here on the screen. So don't forget to check those out. When there is no credit caption given on the screen, that means it's my own work or it's someone else's work. I basically give credit wherever it's due. Therefore, I'll require no credit caption. However, I would like to invite you to check out my other social media via Instagram and TikTok. Those links are down below for your convenience. And it's very difficult to find any extra video clips from when the mall was actually open, so I will do my best work with what I found and provide correct citations. Anyways, I am Chris the Shrine Dog, and thank you for watching today's video. The Cottonwood Mall was an enclosed shopping mall in Holiday, Utah, a suburb of Salt Lake City, that opened in 1962. It was Utah's largest indoor shopping center, and it was its first large indoor shopping center. It was built and owned by the Herman Construction, and in 1985 was sold to the John Price and Associates. Then sold again to General Growth Properties. GGP later filed for bankruptcy and was later reformed and split into two entities, GGP and the Howard Hughes Company. I'll go more into that later on in the episode. When the mall opened in 1962, the main anchor store was a ZCMI store, the Zion's Cooperative Mercantile Institution, owned by the LDS Church. For those of you who have never heard of ZCMI before, and I never heard of it until I moved to Utah, it was an American department store chain that started in Salt Lake City and opened its first store in downtown Salt Lake City on October 9th, 1868 by Brigham Young. The store has long gone under, but you can still see remnants of the first store in downtown Salt Lake City. Today, Macy's occupies the location in City Creek Center, a high-end retail center in downtown Salt Lake. I will go and share a link to that post for my Instagram down below. In 2001, ZCMI at Cottonwood Mall became Meyer and Frank and then became a Macy's in 2006. On January 4th, 2017, Macy's had announced that they will be closing 68 stores nationwide. This location was on that list, seen here in the video. After its closure later that year, it stayed a vacant standalone building in the rest of the mall, with the rest of the mall being demolished, and sat vacant since 2008. More on that later on, and I'll go ahead and have some video later on provided by my friend, and it'll be up to these clips. Other early tenants included JCPenney, which was located on the other end of the mall, an Albertsons supermarket, and a Woolworth, which happened to be the last operating store in the state of Utah in 1993. Starting in the early 2000s, Cottonwood Mall suffered extremely high vacancy rates. By 2004, the mall was approximately 25% vacant. When the 2002 Winter Olympics were in town, the mall parking lot was used as a parking location for patrons. In July 2007, GGP announced plans to redevelop the mall and the surrounding areas, but a month later, the Holiday City Council deemed the building as blighted. When doing some research, I had admitted that I wasn't 100% sure what that term meant. I learned that blighted literally means in a badly damaged or deteriorating condition. So I guess it makes sense that the city would determine this. GGP tore the mall down with the exception of the Macy's anchor building in 2008 or in mid-2008 as the beginning of the redevelopment phase. Original redevelopment plans called for a lifestyle center to be built around the existing Macy's store and building. The TGI Fridays restaurant, seen in this footage right now, was located on the northwestern part of the property, but it closed in March 2009. Redevelopment of the mall halted in 2009 when GGP filed for bankruptcy. It was later reformed after the bankruptcy and split into two entities. One of the entities, the Howard Hughes Corporation, took over the redevelopment of the mall, and in 2014, rumors surfaced that Smith's Food and Drug, part of the Kroger family, would be opening a location on the site with a tentative opening date sometime during the 2016 year. In 2017, Macy's announced that they would close the Cottonwood Mall property location as part of their plan to restructure their U.S. operations. The area is still in a pretty thriving area. It is surrounded by other businesses, and the main roads near the mall sites seem to usually, if not always, seem to be crowded with cars driving by. The surrounding area is still known by the mall name. It is known as the Cottonwood or Cottonwood Creekside area. As you can see here in the footage, in 2016, I had the chance to film the exterior of what was left in the mall. All that was left was just the Macy's store, which was at the time still open. And you can see here the building for TGI Fridays was still standing at the time. In 2017, my friend at Leatherwolf Studios, at the time he was known as H.H. Fox Addict, you'll see his footage coming up my footage you see here will pop up. I'll go in a link down below. I'll put a link of his channel down in the description box down below. He's done some excellent work on other malls, both here in Utah and in other U.S. states as well. In 2017, he had visited the same property shortly after it had closed. Even though we filmed the same property separately, we eventually combined both his footage and my footage into one video and posted it on the Utah Vlog Squad YouTube channel page. I'll share a link to that video so that way you can watch the original video in its entirety with the original dialogue and everything. I've added those clips into this so that way you can enjoy them here, as you can see you're watching them right now. I will go ahead and keep my original dialogue out because everything mentioned in my original video was also mentioned in this video. It just sounded really boring with my voice, and I just wanted to take more time and put a better effort into this video and providing information here. I also wanted to provide videos into this video to help give the audience of this video an idea of what the mall used to look like. I will go ahead and leave my friend's dialogue in the video because I feel that his words are better off coming out from his own mouth. And I'll go ahead and just leave the video playing with the music in the background and have Leatherwolf Studios, aka H.H. Fox Addict, I'll keep his dialogue in so that way you can listen to what he has to say. And I'll be back after his video is up. One real quick side note, you'll see right here a sign in between the stoplight right there. When I remember thinking to myself when I first recorded this, I saw that sign, it was empty. I was like, where am I? I'm in the middle of nowhere, Utah. And I just thought it was kind of funny they had that blank sign just sitting there on the thing. And also, you saw earlier, there's like little ramps going down and up behind me where I'm at right now. That's actually where part of the parking, right here. It goes down a little bit up. It goes up a little bit to the left where there's like a little parking structure, and you go down and go to the parking structure for the rest of the mall. And that's actually all gone nowadays, I believe. remember going down these stairs, going up and down when I was recording this original footage. I remember that it was a little wobbly, and I felt like I was going to fall. So it was kind of scary when I was there.
Hey guys, this is HH Fox Addict, just doing a short video here. I was with a friend today who I went and saw the football game with last night, and I dropped him off at the station, and on my way home I decided to stop at the former Cottonwood Mall site just to see what the condition is of this former Macy's. The mall was torn down in 2008 and Macy's stayed open for a few years afterward, but now it's gone and this building is slated to be demolished. I just wanted to come check it out. I did find some spots where people have tried to break in and something that could be an entry, but I will not be doing that because of no trespassing signs, as much as I might want to, but I won't because that's the law. But this is all that's left of the store. Of the mall, I mean. Got that wrong. When they tore down the mall, this was all that was left of the original parking lot as well. But since it closed, people have broken in here. I've heard that there's been a couple of fires inside as well, and that's just not cool. Thank you for ruining it for people like me who just want to explore these properties. I really, really appreciate that. There's your no trespassing signs. Now, I don't know too much about Cottonwood Mall besides the fact that in its final days, it had a Macy's and a JCPenney. And those were the only two anchors it ever had. I also know that there was a parking structure right behind the mall. And I believe over here is now walking toward where the mall concourse would have been. Because over here is a newer parking lot area. When they tore down the mall, they said they were going to redevelop it into an outdoor center, and that obviously failed. And that's one of the reasons why Macy's stuck around so long, because that was the original plan. But right now, Ivory Homes, which is a home builder in Utah, they bought this land and they want to tear this building down, and I believe develop this area into housing and residential. From what I can tell, the citizens of the good city of Holiday are not sure that they want that, so we'll have to see what happens there. And you can kind of see the Macy's label scar above that door. And that concludes our tour. I know this isn't my usual type of video. Stop by and check this out. I leave you with one more label scar. I'd like to thank you all very much for watching.
Alright, thank you to Leather Wolf Studios for allowing me to use his footage to give his thoughts about it and everything. Anyways, now we fast forward to today when I actually filmed this footage on. Let's go ahead and fast forward to October 20th, 2024, like it says on the screen right there, when I went to go out and film this beautiful footage in 4K resolution. The mall, as well as the Macy's, are now completely gone. And in their places, new apartment buildings, and they're also building new office buildings. You can see where that building right there, where that construction was right there, the brand new building they were building, that's where the Macy's was located. And as you can see, new apartments, new retail is coming in, which is really good for the area to lighten up a little bit. It's really good in my opinion. In my opinion, it seems like they are still in the early stages of the building process, and as mentioned earlier in the video, the plans had originally called for stuff to be built around the old Macy's, but as you can see from the footage, the building is no longer there. The TGI Fridays is also no longer there. I'll show the footage here pretty soon. It was demolished long before the Macy's building came down, but it was demolished long before the Macy's building came down, but long after the rest of the mall was demolished. So I would say years and years and years, obviously. Do I wish the original plans for the property had gone through and would have kept the mall there, but new? I absolutely would have loved to see the mall, seen them do that. I would have loved to see like an updated, like the mall updated, and would have loved to have seen the mall here still. This, you can see like this is where like the rest of the mall used to be part of. Right here, you can see they're building on top of that. But on the other hand, I am extremely happy for the city and the other developers. And other developers are actually doing something with the property rather than just letting it sit there doing nothing and rotting. It's such prime real estate, such prime property, and I, for one, am excited to see how everything turns out. And who knows, maybe a few years from now, I'll be able to come back and do, like, film an update video, and when everything's done and completed, and see what it looks like nowadays. And this little section of the parking lot is actually where the TGI Fridays was, just right there, right off in the distance towards where that red building is back there. And that's where the TGI Fridays was located. Thank you for watching today's video. I know it was a little bit of a longer video, but it is what it is. Anyways, I hope you enjoy the rest of the video, and I hope everybody has a good day. And don't forget to check out the links down below.
watching has to subscribe. Subscribing is cool. Thanks.